looking.
We've passed all that, sir. You agreed to plead guilty. The only question right now is, will I give you 20 years or 24 years? That's what you agreed to. So what is it you want? 20, 21, 24? Mr. Halpern.
Thanks, Judge. This is Mr. Montez, number 36.
22 CR 7002, People versus Montez. Entries?
Daniel Cohen on behalf of People.
And Robert Halpern on behalf of Mr. Montez, who is present in custody in the courtroom today.
All right, we're set for sentencing today.
That's correct.
Ready to proceed?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Prosecution?
Thank you, Your Honor. I will just initially note, well, as the court is aware, this is a case that it's a fairly small range of sentencing between 20 and 25 years. I am going to be asking for the 25 years. I believe.
Did I typo? I thought it was 24.
Sorry, 2024. Pardon me. That was the older. The previous one was 2024. I'm asking for that 24 years. I know. I think we're all aware of Mr. Montez's situation, but at the end of the day, this was a very violent assault against peace officers when they were trying to enforce the law and protect the peace and sanctity of the Denver Union Station bus station. As someone who has regularly used that bus station, I know how harrowing it can be at times, and I know the amount of work that RTD has put into that to try and make the public transportation system safer in this city. It's necessary for so many people, and for some of us, we want this RTD to be safe and enjoyable for everyone. And Mr. Montez, through his actions, severely disrupted that. And I believe that based on the nature of his offense, he has earned those 24 years. I will say that in preparing for this trial, in speaking to some of the officer witnesses, one witness, what stood out in my mind is when I asked him, what did you think when you saw what happened? He told me, my first thought was I just lost a colleague, because the stabbing was just that violent and aggressive. And thankfully, the officer who was stabbed repeatedly in this case, his vest did exactly what we hoped it would do. It prevented him from receiving any further serious injuries. It prevented him from being killed. But there were lasting effects in this case. The officer whose hand got cut suffered a fairly severe infection as a result of that, and is, I believe, still on desk duty as a result of that. His hand has never really gotten back to full functioning. This has affected a lot of people in a lot of different ways. There's a very large restitution amount, and I don't know if I haven't had a chance to talk to Mr. Halpern about this, so I will state that it's in excess of $20,000. So if I could have an opportunity to file a written motion, because it's divided between multiple different officers and expenses, so if I could have permission to file a written restitution request after conferring with Mr. Halpern about it, and I can get that done in the next week to week and a half.
To be heard before sentencing.
Mr. Halpern.
Thanks, Judge. Been a difficult case. It's obviously quite old, and I've gotten to know Mr. Montez throughout the pendency of the case fairly well, and I know he would disagree with some of my characterizations and my raising competency, but I've seen kind of the highs and lows, if you will, and when he is what I think functioning on a competent level, he's very smart, asks really intelligent questions about the case, about his options, about what happened that day, and he's taken responsibility for it. And it was, you watch the video, and that part of it is hard to watch when he has the scissors. But there is a long standoff, and that's in front of an elevator.
I watched the video.
Okay. And what Mr. Montez is talking about, and you hear it on the video, is at some point they do say that he can go. Once he puts the scissors away, they wanted him to get rid of the scissors, and then the doors open, and he did think he was free to go, and he got rushed. I think it's pretty clear that they weren't going to let him go, given the circumstances, but he believed that, and stepped back onto the elevator, and then they rushed him, and he reacted. And again, it's scary watching that reaction, and I'm glad they were wearing the vests. And I'm also glad that Mr. Montez, before the trial, opted for this option, while it's still a hefty sentence he's looking at, I would be concerned about post-trial and what he'd be looking at potentially the rest of his life. Again, I'm not sure that Mr. Montez, to this day, agrees with the idea of mental illness and mental health. But again, I think when I've seen him on his medications and doing well, he is smart and thoughtful, and I would encourage him to wrap his head around that and understand that diagnosis. Obviously, that's a decision he's going to make, but when I've seen him at his best, he has a lot to offer, and I really wish him luck moving forward through the prison, and then when he's released, and how he handles that in the future. But I know he wants to speak, and I do wish